Krishan had chlamydia while she gave birth. And all the accusations of people thinking that
gave birth. Why? Because I was there. It didn't kick in. It didn't kick in. When the nurses came in there and told you, can they talk to you about yourself? You're like, no. Just go ahead and put it out there when I was wrong. Yeah, and they said you had chlamydia with CPS. My reason for that is because I have to clear my name. I have to clear my position. Yes, I'm going to protect myself. You tell lies and you sell fake stories. I see what's going on. You don't mind. And you thought you was going to play with me, but I made sure my name was canceled out with CPS and anybody, so you couldn't play with me with him. You did that, though. You did that. So now your karma, that's on you. But don't forget, every reaction comes.
What's really going on is the fact that I came out and said my truth about what's going on, and it's so embarrassing to say, oh, I did that. She probably forgot it because she lied to herself so long. Whatever happened, happened. So she tried to make me take it back as if I did it for clout. Like, I'm not finna play like that. And I wasn't the only one that came out about you, so.
But she said she's suing you for making the allegations that she
Where's the paperwork? Where's the sue? She's lying. I ain't getting not one paperwork.
So there's no lawsuit?
Birth through the canal.
I mean, she's seen.
Wow. We're throwing big shots.
You think she had one since birth?
No. When she gave birth.
Oh.
The internet is in full meltdown mode again. And this time the drama surrounding Krishan and Blueface family has reached a whole new level. What started as another messy back and forth online has exploded into a storm of accusations. Old feuds resurfacing and relatives jumping in with claims that have everyone asking how deep this chaos really goes. Blueface's sister Callie has stirred the pot by putting Chrisean on blast with allegations that instantly reignited one of the most turbulent celebrity beefs we've seen in years. And the shocking part? This isn't the first time someone close to Chrisean has made similar claims, which is exactly why fans are scrambling to figure out who's telling the truth, who's exaggerating, and who's just trying to get even. Buckle up, because this saga stretches back years. And every time you think you've reached the end of the mess, someone's sister hops online and flips the whole thing upside down again. The internet is spiraling again, and this time it's because a brand new wave of allegations just detonated across social media like a bomb. Overnight, timelines were flooded with clips, screenshots, and voice notes after Callie, Blueface's sister, jumped online with claims about Chrisean that instantly sent fans into full-blown detective mode. Within minutes, hashtags were trending, people were stitching videos left and right, and the whole situation turned into a digital wildfire nobody could ignore. And the wildest part? This wasn't just any random rumor. This allegation tapped directly into one of the messiest, most volatile family feuds reality TV has ever birthed, and viewers could feel it the second it hit their feeds. Comment sections looked like battlegrounds, with half the internet accusing Callie of stirring things up for attention and the other half swearing she wouldn't say something this heavy without receipts. Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram collectively lost their minds, reposting old clips, dragging up past drama, and trying to piece together a timeline that made sense. People were throwing around theories. Old livestream footage resurfaced before anyone could blink, and fans who swore they were done with the chaos were suddenly 3 hours deep into threads trying to figure out who said what, when, and why. Even neutral onlookers couldn't help but admit it felt like the opening scene of a reality TV season premiere where everybody's pretending to be surprised even though they've been waiting for the drama to explode. But here's the thing. Unless you've been keeping up with every fight, every live stream, every family argument, and every messy allegation that's ever flown across the internet between these people, this story probably already feels like it's missing half the puzzle pieces. And that's exactly why the claims hit as hard as they did. Because to understand why these new accusations instantly turn the entire internet upside down, you got to look back at the long, chaotic, and almost unbelievable history that brought us right to this moment. So before we dive deeper into new drama, let's rewind for a second, because trust me, once you see how far back this feud goes, the latest explosion will make a whole lot more sense. To understand why the internet erupts every time Chrisean and Blueface family breathe in each other's direction, you have to go back to where this chaos truly began. Their tension didn't appear overnight. It's been simmering for years, fueled by old grudges, bruised egos, and a family dynamic that always feels one argument away from turning into a full-blown pay-per-view brawl. The earliest cracks showed long before any recent allegations. Fans remember those moments when Blueface's sister Callie made it clear she wasn't thrilled about Chrisean's presence in the family circle, and Chrisean, being Chrisean, never backed down from matching the energy. For a while, the tension stayed behind the scenes, bubbling under the surface, but when it finally spilled online in 2022, it wasn't just messy, it was unforgettable. The 2022 altercation is the moment people still bring up because it looked like something ripped straight out of a chaotic reality TV crossover episode. According to various live streams, posts, and recaps circulating at the time, things escalated when Callie, her husband, and another relative showed up while Chrisean was at a gathering at Blueface's house. What was supposed to be normal, or as normal as anything gets with that crew, suddenly turned into a scene nobody could look away from. At first, Chrisean reportedly tried to avoid the drama, staying calm even though the tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a butter knife. But that truce didn't last long. 1 minute, voices were raised, and the next, the situation allegedly exploded into physical chaos. People on social media still quote the moment Callie went online afterward, adamant that Blueface witnessed the entire altercation and did nothing to intervene. That detail alone caused a firestorm, with fans debating whether he was staying neutral, instigating, or simply trying to avoid getting dragged in. Then came the part that nobody saw coming. Claims that multiple people jumped in, turning the confrontation into a tangled, fast-paced melee that had viewers stunned when clips and aftermath photos started circulating. One of the most memorable details came from Chrisean, who later shared an image of a black eye, insisting she'd never allow her family to be involved with that kind of chaos again. It was the kind of viral moment that instantly split the internet. Some people defended Chrisean as reacting under pressure, while others insisted the entire Blueface circle had crossed every possible line. Meanwhile, Chrisean and Blueface ended up going live together shortly after, laughing, brushing off the situation, and showing zero signs of remorse. Fans were stunned at how casually they treated the blow-up, as if a multi-person fight involving relatives was just another Tuesday. It was the moment that cemented the feud as something deeper than a simple disagreement. This wasn't just family drama. This was personal, and the longer it stayed online, the more public and volatile it became. The 2022 incident wasn't just a fight. It became the foundation for every argument, every accusation, and every messy public moment that would follow. So when new claims surface now, it's not shocking that they instantly revive all the old wounds, memories, and digital battle scars from that original explosion. Once a feud reaches this level of history, every new spark feels like gasoline being tossed into a fire that never truly went out. If the original tension between Chrisean and Blueface's side of the family was a spark, the fallout from the 2022 blow-up turned it into a wildfire. And right in the middle of that fire were Chrisean's own sisters, who wasted no time jumping into the conversation with their own statements, their own interpretations, and their own accusations. Nothing was confirmed. Everything they said lived in that chaotic space between personal perspective and online storytelling. But that didn't stop the internet from eating it up. Chrisean's sisters positioned themselves as the ones trying to set the record straight, going live, posting clips, and throwing in commentary that blended frustration with a generous dose of family pettiness. One sister claimed she'd witnessed certain patterns for years. Another insisted she'd warned people about how things always go left. None of this came with proof. What people saw was mostly emotion, raw and unfiltered, the kind of explosive honesty that makes viewers lean in closer. And that's what hooked the audience. Not whether every claim was true, but the passion behind it. Every rant felt personal. Every tear seemed tied to some unspoken history. Every sarcastic jab hinted at deeper family fractures. Viewers weren't just watching a feud anymore. They were watching an entire family unravel publicly, each sibling adding a new layer of intensity, hurt, or shade. It's the type of messy rollout that reality shows wish they could script, but somehow this family manages to deliver it in real time, every single time. If there's one thing guaranteed to reboot any celebrity feud, it's receipts, or at least the appearance of receipts. And this saga got a second wind when old clips, live stream moments, and messy interview soundbites resurfaced across TikTok, Twitter, and fan pages dedicated solely to tracking this drama. Fans pulled up everything. Clips where Blueface family claimed Chrisean crossed certain lines. Live streams where Chrisean said she had been the one targeted. Interviews where siblings alleged they'd seen warning signs long before the blow-up. Comments where people involved insisted their version was the real one. None of these resurfaced moments offered a complete timeline, but the internet doesn't need a full puzzle to start connecting the dots. Every clip was treated like it held a hidden clue. Every comment became a theory. Every half sentence got replayed, slowed down, analyzed, and reinterpreted until it morphed into something bigger and messier. This patchwork of alleged statements created a kind of crowdsourced storyline, where viewers stitched together their own narrative from whatever fragments they could find. Some believed the sisters. Some defended Chrisean. Others just watched the chaos unfold like a live-action detective board, where everything is connected by red string and bad decisions. And with each revived clip, the drama snowballed, pushing the feud back into the spotlight once again. Then came the part of the drama that grabbed the most attention, the health accusations. These weren't medical confirmations, they weren't backed by documentation, and they weren't supported by any official source. They were online allegations, claims made by individuals involved in the feud or reacting to it, and that's exactly how they circulated. People on social media ran with them because that's what the internet does. It turns speculation into content, and content into wildfire. The specifics of the allegations never mattered as much as the shock value. The drama wasn't about medical truth. It was about who said what, why they said it, and what their motives might be. This became yet another reminder that when it comes to public feuds, especially ones involving this crew, even the slightest allegation can dominate the timeline within minutes. And almost instantly, fans took sides. Some argued the sisters were going too far. Others insisted they were simply telling their truth. Many pointed out that using health allegations in a feud is one of the darkest directions things can go. But regardless of who believed what, the conversation itself took over the discourse, proving once again that in this world, anything said online, verified or not, becomes fuel for the fire. By the time all these storylines collided, the public had settled into a bigger narrative, one that stretches far beyond a single fight or allegation. Chrisean Rock versus everybody, whether fair or not. Fans began noticing a pattern in how the drama played out. Feuds with Blueface mom, tension with his sister, blow-ups with other relatives, fallouts with friends, reconciliations that lasted 48 hours, and then new battles starting all over again. From the outside, it looked like Chrisean was constantly rotating between allies and opponents, building new bonds just in time for the last set to crumble. But here's the twist. Depending on who you ask, the pattern means something completely different. Some fans see Chrisean as a fighter who reacts only when pushed. Others think she's the center of the chaos, attracting conflict everywhere she goes. And a whole third group believes everyone involved, Chrisean included, is simply locked into a toxic cycle of online storytelling, where drama feeds clout, clout feeds conflict, and conflict feeds the next viral moment. That's the tension that keeps audiences hooked. What's real, and what's just another chapter in the internet's favorite unscripted soap opera? Is this a genuine family implosion, or a never-ending loop of messy narratives amplified by algorithms and people who love a good storyline? By the end of it all, viewers aren't just trying to figure out who's right. They're trying to decode the entire ecosystem, a chaotic orbit of relationships, breakups, alliances, betrayals, claims, counterclaims, and receipts that don't always add up. It's not just a feud anymore. It's a saga, and the audience is addicted. And just when everyone thought the situation couldn't get any louder, the comment sections proved otherwise. The public reaction became its own drama, a whole separate storyline that unfolded in real time underneath every repost, every clip, every live stream, every messy allegation that hit the internet. If the feud was the fire, the audience was the gasoline. Across TikTok and Instagram, the comment sections were exploding with opinions. Some people defended Chrisean with their whole chest, writing things like, "Y'all love blaming her for everything. These people been dragging her for years." Others sided with the family, posting variations of, "No one goes this hard without a reason. Something must have happened behind the scenes." And then there were the viewers who were just exhausted, leaving comments like, "Every time I log in, this family is fighting again. I can't keep up." But the most viral reactions came from users who treated the entire saga like a detective case. One person wrote, "I swear this is the messiest timeline in Hollywood. Someone needs to drop a diagram." Another said, "I don't know what's true, but I've been watching this drama since 2022 and it feels like we're not even close to the ending." And someone else chimed in with a comment that summed up the entire internet's energy. "At this point, I'm just here for the updates. Y'all let me know when the truth comes out." This divided reaction created the perfect storm of engagement. People weren't just watching, they were participating. They were debating, stitching videos, arguing in threads, and trying to decode the motivations of every person involved. The audience wasn't passive. They became part of the narrative, shaping the conversation, amplifying the drama, and turning the feud into the kind of viral loop that algorithms love. It wasn't just a story anymore. It was a community event. And now, after all the claims, all the family fallout, all the resurfaced clips, all the messy interviews, and all the nonstop online commentary, the big question is this: do you think these allegations are just another chapter in a long-running family drama? Or is there something deeper going on behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the internet definitely hasn't decided yet.